find some peace tonight in the arms of the angel. Fly away from here, from this dark, cold hotel room and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent.
Welcome on into the 11th episode of Rawhide's Mob, presented by Hatch State Line Toyota and Hatch Ford Silver City. I'm your host, Jake Wetzel, and soon we'll be joined by my co-host, Jack Rasmussen, my boss, Dakota Spillers, and his boss, Assistant Athletic Director, Matt Enriquez. But first, we're going to give a Mustang recap of this weekend's events. Josh Johnson and Jamon Chambers are your Hatch State Line Toyota Male Athletes of the Week, while Sydney Wright is your Hatch Ford Silver City Female Athlete of the Week. The football team and both basketball teams were in action over the weekend. The football team defeated Eastern New Mexico University in the Green Chili Bowl 38-24. This ended a 15-year losing streak for the Mustangs against the Greyhounds. Jamon Chambers rushed for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. Football ends their season now at 6-5 and 5-4 in the Lone Star Conference, as they did not make a bowl. Men's and women's hoops began their regular seasons with the conference crossover against the RMAC. The men defended Drags Court, defeating Westminster 72-59 and Adams State 90-72. The women would fall to New Mexico Highlands 64-55 and to Fort Lewis 66-57.
All right, guys, we're here, episode 11, with Matt, who's apparently good at basketball, and Dakota, who runs the show behind the scenes. How we doing, fellas?
I'm good, Jack. You?
So good. Thanks for being here, Matt. How we doing?
It's an honor, man.
Oh, honor.
I've been waiting this for a long time.
That's a generous term, but we appreciate you guys coming on. So, Dakota, how's it feel to set this whole thing up and finally be on it, be a guest on your own podcast, room, and show?
I've actually talked about this for 2 years. Cassie Vickery was going to be the first one to host my first year here, first semester, and then it didn't happen. And when Jake got here, I said, let's make it happen.
Sure.
Scott got on board, and now we're here.
I didn't know you had visions of this for 2 years. I thought it was like overnight, because like I brought it up and you're like, yeah, we're doing it, and then the next day you're like, yeah, it's done. I'm like, wait, what do you mean it's done? And then I come in here and it's like a studio in here with little records and curtains and soundproof foam.
It's legit.
It's a thing.
Legit.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I mean, it's been a good time. I've been in here 2 or 3 times now,
Yeah.
just on the couch and
Which
whatnot.
isn't enough
Sorry,
for your own production.
Yeah, I didn't know you hadn't been on yet.
I haven't.
So it's
Yeah,
kind
you
of
like
like
refuse to.
pretty much.
I was a little nervous.
More of a behind the scenes guy.
I guess so.
All right, so let's switch roles. Matt.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man.
What's going on, my man?
Welcome, dude.
I heard I've been living in your head for a while, man.
I've been living in your head rent free. So just for all the listeners and viewers out there, Matt is the leading scorer in Western Mexico history, correct?
That we know of, that we have records for.
So, yeah, the leading scorer. And he won't play me in horse or a shooting contest. So just letting everyone know that's currently happening. And I've been asking for months probably, and I leave in 3 days, and he still is yet to see me on the court.
Which
So
just proves my point that I've been living in your head for months.
No, my head's you know like the cartoon, like the pie cooling the windowsill?
Yeah.
That's all that's in my head. And like a monkey that smashes in. That's all that's in my head.
I told you, my game's like a light switch. I told you this.
And
I'm ready to go whenever you are.
guys, listen to me. 2 weeks ago, Matt said the Monday after your last game we'll play basketball. It's Tuesday.
I did say that. I did say that.
I'm just letting you know it's Tuesday.
I did say that.
All right. But we haven't played yet. What's
I've
up
been
with that?
busy. We got games, we got basketball,
You don't
taking
have-
care of Dakota. It's
That last part is probably strenuous.
It's a little bit true.
But you know, basketball games all day.
just play shooting game.
You have 20 minutes to shoot with the punter.
Notice that you said punter, not shooter. You can't kick the balls in the hoop.
First of all, 100% can. Okay? And the punter can shoot. I don't care what you call me. Give me any title you want, I can still shoot.
5 shots
Okay.
from each spot, 5 spots. 3-point line.
You get your math on that. It's 25 shots.
25 shots.
Okay. Just like corner, wing, top.
Yeah.
All right.
Or you could call a game.
I
Doesn't
don't
matter.
care. Why, dude, we'll go half court. I don't care where we do from.
I'm ready to go,
The
man.
bleachers.
I wish we could take this and move it into a gym right now and let everyone see
Yeah.
exactly what would
Well, we
happen.
can get it on video, man. We got
Yeah.
a great video guy, Oli. So,
I haven't picked up a basketball in months. Dakota actually asked me this morning what last time I actually shot a basketball. I couldn't even remember last time I actually shot
I
one.
feel like you and I both know it'll take you like 4 shots to find your groove again.
Maybe 2.
Okay, all right, relax.
Maybe 2.
Okay, well, yeah, it doesn't take long, man. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But how does it, okay, so I wanted to ask this, but I've waited for a public setting to ask you. How does it feel to be a part of athletics now, knowing that no one is gonna break your record?
I mean, you hope someone does, to be honest.
Do you?
You know, last year we had Jordan Doss, you know, single game scoring record, again, for what we have records for was 40. And Jordan Doss last year, I think, got 39 right at Oklahoma Christian.
Correct.
And I had to text him after the game, like, dude, you're just 1 point short. And he had no idea. But again, I hope it is. I mean, that means we're winning games, we're having good
Yeah.
players. And so.
So what records do you hold? Is it the single game, or is it season, or what? Or career?
So careers, over 1,500 points in the career.
God.
Game, if I remember, I was 40. Right, Dakota talked about this. I couldn't get into, the shooting percent. I wasn't. I hope my old coach is listening because he attested to this. He always joked I shot a lot, but I didn't make a lot. So it was a quantity over quality kind of thing.
Sure.
Especially at the free throw line.
You got to bring that up.
Were you not good in the?
No.
Really?
No. It's amazing more points I scored if I could shoot free throws.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Or it was
60s.
2000.
So you were 2 or 3?
Two.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were just a shooter.
Shooter, scorer, slasher.
Yeah.
He says he dunks a lot, but I don't believe it.
You were throwing down?
Don't let this belly fool you right now, man.
It is.
Don't let it fool you.
It is fooling me.
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
20 years ago.
I
You believe that?
I played basketball last night and I had a small fast break and I threw out the backboard and I just totally missed it. I hit the back of the rim and I landed and I thought my world was ending because my ankles were like, "What are you doing to us?"
So you've been practicing, is what you're saying?
No, I played basketball yesterday for the first time in a year.
You've been practicing for a matchup, it sounds like.
Man, it doesn't matter. All right, it doesn't matter.
This proves again you've been thinking from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep.
You're just always on my mind.
I'm always on your
I
mind.
just, God, I hope Matt's thinking about me. That's all I think about, man. So, looking at our team this year, both men and women, what are your thoughts going forward for the season? Do you think we'll have success this year as opposed to last year? Do you think it'll be a different culture, or what? What do you think?
I think our culture's changed for sure in a good way for both teams. Our men's team, I think we have a chance to be really good this year. Last year we made some huge strides and, changing the culture and changing our expectations of actually, winning, and we can win. And, Zane having a good season as far as wins. I think this year he'll surpass that if we can stay healthy. Not only do we got good players, but we got good guys on the team. I had a chance this weekend to finally kind of sit and watch them and watch practice. And I think, what you guys did as a football team now, that excitement carrying over to basketballs, and them upholding that expectation and that excitement. I think they're going to do a great job. Zane has a chance to do some really good things that we haven't done in a while, just like you guys did with football. I think Coach Pace has got some key pieces in. I think they're better than last year. They're more athletic. They had a tough weekend, but I think they're kind of on the right pace as far as setting the culture and the expectation for conference. Actually, Coach Pace and I talked this morning, about that, and he feels confident. I think we're on the right track.
Okay. So we've had coaches in here the past few weeks, basketball coaches interviewing him, and then they've all played in college. And my question for you, I guess, is you weren't done with the game in the sense that you took a job really close by, but not close enough to coach. Is that what you wanted, or is coaching always in the back of your mind?
Coaching was always in the back of my mind. I didn't know what level. I got my degree in teaching because I wanted to be probably every young coach would be a high school coach and go back home, originally from El Paso. And then the coach at the time that I played for, he kind of had a spot and just said, "Why don't you just stay and get your, graduate degree and see what you like at this level." And I knew I wanted to be at this level, man. So it took me a while. Obviously, people don't know I played here and coached here and was an assistant and a head coach and now an admin here. So I've been here since 2002. So
I was 6 years old.
Cool. I was 7.
you were not 7.
I was 7, 95.
You were in college in 95, man.
That was 4.
That was almost funny. You guys are the worst. I should walk out of this podcast right now. You guys turn the lights all the way in silence.
But for me, it was coaching. For me, it's impact on young kids. That's kind of my passion, what I like to do, and find a way through coaching. Just kind of like you, for instance, right? Like, had no idea who you were when you came in here and got to know you a little bit and, you know, banter a little bit on the side. To me, I like that, you know, and so that's kind of why I wanted to get into coaching, to have that impact. Now in administration, I feel like I could do that with more athletes just within one sport. You know, now I could do softball and football and, you know, cross and those kind of kids that I don't normally or wouldn't normally have an opportunity to do that if I was just a basketball coach, I would say.
So expanding your net, but still staying like the same goal.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Cool.
same mindset, same goal,
Gotcha.
just on a broader stream.
Okay. Well, Dakota's here, Jake. It's your boss. So let's talk about the things you hate about him
All right,
as a boss.
we can start with that.
Roast me.
Yeah.
So you got hired in the middle of COVID.
I did.
So what was it like being here for your first year, just straight COVID, not anything normal?
The day before I got here, Scott called me and said, I hope you know how to do football stats on Stat Crew. I lied. I said I did.
Nice.
No idea.
Good for you.
Then the football season got canceled, and I had another year to, and actually another 6 months to learn it.
6 months of preparation. Wait, is football your least favorite one to keep track of stat-wise?
No, basketball.
Really?
It's really fast.
It's fast-paced.
Yeah.
It's a lot of parts in it, right? Like for
Yeah.
basketball, of statting that.
I'm not even sure what stats there are in football to keep track of. Like, is it just No, I'm. All right, relax. Hold on. Let me
Just
explain.
say too, man.
No, let me explain. Relax. Well, all you guys, let me explain. Like, is it just like passing, interceptions, rushing? Like,
Tackles,
okay, so it's like,
punting, kicking.
punting's important. I
Yeah,
heard.
yeah.
Okay.
Pass
I didn't
breakups.
jip you once, by the way.
You what?
I did not jip you once, like you say.
I
I
appreciate that.
put that right on the yard line. It was that.
I appreciate that. So basketball is just more. I feel like it's the same amount. Not same amount, but like almost same amount, but it's just way faster.
It is. The hardest part is really seeing assists and subs because you're so focused on the games, and then the subs come in, don't see it,
Yeah.
and then you hit a person, it's not in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and you gotta go redo it. So it gets frustrating at times.
Yeah.
Subs, assists, it's hard to see because you're looking at if they make the basket or who rebounds.
Yeah.
You forget about who's assisted.
So if you miss a stat like a sub, do you have to go back and watch film and do that from there, or do you have to just like?
I input it as the person in, and then I go back after the game and put them in right before they did that play.
Okay.
It's a
So
lot.
sometimes minutes get jacked up.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
It is what it is.
I kept stats one game in my JUCO college coaching career, and I butchered them.
Was it on a typewriter, or was it pen and paper, or did we have computers in?
That was so close. Look, all right. I told this before to keep people on it. I don't mind the old jokes. Don't bring that weak. It's worth my time. You know what I mean, man? All right. I don't mind some old jokes. Just don't waste my time, man. All right.
I got you.
Come on,
I
man.
got you.
Do better. I can't really talk about it. So,
You butchered stats.
yeah, I would not do it ever again, which is fine because I hated doing it. Because I couldn't figure out the assists and if there's a clutter of people getting a rebound, I can never see who grabs it. You know what I mean?
Especially the miss, cat, put
Yeah,
back,
like the
put back.
tipping is like,
Yeah.
all right, why don't we know who's
Yeah.
getting the ball? But it's crazy. So, in terms of game day, what's your favorite sport to I guess set up or
Softball,
really?
way easier.
Okay.
Football, you
very-
gotta be here 4 hours before.
So,
Football makes a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Football's a long day.
Yeah, because we get here at if we have a game at like 7 p.m., we'll get here at like 3:30. You guys are already here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, for 7 p.m. games,
It's all day.
we'll be here 11 o'clock maybe,
Dang
just to make sure we're set up and, teams are here early.
it.
And
Yeah.
And there's stuff that you don't even know about that goes on in the morning that you gotta do. So like, you gotta get the links, you gotta do the graphics, and it's all in the morning. And if you don't get it done in time, people get mad.
So it's like an all-day event.
Correct.
Oof. No thanks.
I just kind of wake up and show up when I'm told.
Sure. You do a great job though. Good for you, man.
Hey, it's too much sugar, man.
No,
Too much sugar.
Good job,
It's
man.
too much sugar there.
No.
Hey, I'm a stat guy for football.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good for you. Doing a great job, I think. I don't maybe not, I don't know. So,
Volleyball, basketball, you're what, now 2 hours before? It's not terribly hard. The setup the day before is probably the longest.
Setup's longer, but again, we do the day before just because there's replay cameras
for the
and
indoor sports?
cords everywhere. But as far as, I'm a little biased, but for me, the easiest is basketball. But
Sure.
but the setup's more. But I mean, where I get to watch football on the field and
Yeah.
mingle with you guys.
Yeah, what do you even do, man? You just stand.
He doesn't do anything. He complains all the time. Like, I do so much, my feet hurt. I'm like, well, you're not starting the game.
Yeah, I usually just stand there and like you're just like 10 feet away from me next to the kicking net.
Jack, I don't have the luxury of having 38 GAs on my staff, like
2.
someone over here. So it makes it a little bit more difficult,
Yeah,
to
for sure.
kind of get the job done.
Yeah.
And if you're noticing that I'm not really doing anything or it's pretty easy, I'm doing a pretty good job then,
Sure.
right?
I think
Yes.
I think you guys did a great job this season.
The show was good.
Yeah.
The whole production was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I remember, it's kind of my first week here, or second week here, was that volleyball tournament. That like
Yeah,
Fun.
14-hour
That was
tournament.
Brutal.
It was
Yeah.
awful.
that Friday was, insane as far, and that was for everybody on our staff. That
8 games or 6 games? I don't remember.
Was it Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
it was a Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
really?
but Thursday was only one game.
Yep.
Friday there was
That Saturday was long though.
it was long. Well, Saturday was the
Oh wait,
second.
no, I was there. Friday was the long one.
Friday
Sorry.
was the long
I was
one.
there both times.
Yep. So
And it was like 1,200 degrees in the gym,
it was pretty warm.
and in the camera box it was even hotter.
You guys were cooking up there in the
I was
broadcast studio.
actively sweating for 13 hours.
Like the only time you don't sweat kicking the football,
That
do
was a
you?
good one again. Good. Good. No, but I
Just
correct,
checking.
but I don't. Correct.
Just checking.
Actually, last night I played basketball, and I was like gassed at the first play, and I was like, dude, I haven't run since this summer. Like,
Was your thought at that point like, man, if I'm just tired shooting against Matt, we're in trouble?
No.
I'm in trouble. Was that your thought when you were tired?
my thought was, if I'm out of shape, I know that motherfucker's out of shape.
Very true. That is very true.
That dude sits all day. At least I walk around. So. So, a question for Dakota, because I actually don't know the answer to. How do you get into this job? Do you major in like media or like?
So I majored in finance in my undergrad.
That's not even close to what I just said.
Correct.
Okay.
And I was an SID, not an SID. I did SID work. So I did table for basketball.
Mhm.
I made some graphics here and there for our SID at Jessup. But mostly I did a lot of marketing, a lot of go get a sponsorship and whatnot.
Gotcha.
And when I went to my master's, I knew I wanted to be an athletic director.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my master's in sports management. And then I applied for 110 jobs before Scott called me.
Sick.
And every single one was no, you don't have experience, no.
Really?
And Scott called me and said, let's do an interview.
Yeah.
That was there.
I was
What do you think?
I wasn't the first choice, I know that.
No. What do you think of him when you came in?
young.
Wait, was it was COVID? So was it Zoom or was it
Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Young.
It
Had
was
2
Zoom.
weeks to get here.
Young. But it worked out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously Dakota knows I keep them accountable and I keep them honest by talking a lot of crap, to them. And but it was worked out, I think, for both of us, or I say both of us, for our department and for Dakota. I mean, this pains me to say this. He's done a great job.
Let's go!
Affirmation.
2.5 years, finally.
I mean, where this, I say department, where his area was and where it is now is night and day, before he got here. So he's doing a good job, his staff's doing a good job, and so I think it's worked out, for us as well.
Yeah, because I've noticed that even from like a social media presence, last year, 2 years ago, on the Instagram and Twitter, it's like run by a 9-year-old. You know what I mean? And no offense who did that, but like now even with Oli and what you guys are doing with videos and like TikTok, like it looks so much better. It feels like a better atmosphere, like a college
100%.
atmosphere. So
The Instagram, when I took it over, had 12 posts, and it was active for like 4 years.
really, 3 years. That's 3 posts per year. By the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Twitter actually had a lot of followers already, and I think that's good because of football.
Yeah.
Facebook, I didn't get the access till last year, so it was
Your
really
Facebook
hard.
page?
Yeah.
Yeah.
whatever you see on Instagram goes on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So we get to the older generation.
I'm not gonna lie though, COVID actually helped me get everything in order where it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
I had nothing. I had basketball at 11 games, I had 1 football game in the spring, and I had a full season of softball. So it wasn't hard. I mean, I had golf too, but golf, ask Jake, he writes the stories, takes 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's where it was at to where it's now, it's drastic.
Yeah. So my question for you was going to be like, where's your career going from like I hope it does perspective? And you said AD, right?
I
So
want to be an athletic director.
is
and
that
this guy always looks at me like, you're an idiot. But
are you taking the right steps to do that? Like, to start with SID and then sports management business, and then
I think it was just my foot in the door.
yeah.
And granted, Scott lets me do a lot of things that SIDs normally don't do.
Mm-hmm.
Now it lets me look at the budget. I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to be internal ops. I want to be the budget. Matt looks at me like you're dumb. Why are you
Yeah,
doing
I
this?
don't know why you want to do that.
But
does it?
I
He
love
thinks he
numbers.
You love numbers. Oh, finance.
Correct.
That's right. That's okay. That could come in handy. So like, Accolade Dakota's not here, and we're not on a live podcast. Do you think he'd be a good AD?
Yes, I think you would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it comes with experience, right? And when that time comes, I do think so. And you know, it's pain with all this sugar coming your way. Man.
I love it. Every second of it.
You know, because he's willing to try new things and push for new things. You know, him and I talk a lot of, you know, some of his ideas, and I'll be honest, I'm not always on board with some of those ideas, and I'm always like, I don't know, but he's always kind of trying to get me to understand, right, like the importance of the need for it, and I think that's a good leadership quality, you know, being an athletic director. You know, both him and I are learning a lot from Scott, you know, understanding kind of how to push the envelope and how do we get better. You guys as a football team were a big attest to that, you know, where you guys coming off your historic season, and Scott, you know, obviously you guys and Phil and coaches deserves, I mean, more credit than you guys are actually going to get, but so does Scott, you
Sure.
know, and not a lot of people realize that where Scott should get a lot of, or just as much credit, you know, as everyone else because of the stuff he did behind the scenes of trying to get to where we need to be competitive, to have kind of the season we did. And I'm sure Dakota, both him and I have learned so much through that process to see how that's kind of done.
Yeah. I've only had one other AD in Missouri Western, and I guess comparing the two, in my opinion, Scott's much more aggressive in a good way. I
Yes.
feel like. Is that a good way to describe him?
Yeah.
I mean, I only see him once a week, and he calls me cowboy and walks away. But like, what I've seen in our meetings and our interactions, what few there were, I feel like he's much more like, you know, let's put our school on the map because it deserves to be. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like you talked about basketballs earlier, you know, them kind of following your lead, but you know, Scott's again kind of attested that of where we're headed, and not just basketballs, you know, but some of our other sports. You know, our golf team, our men's team is getting ready to they had a great fall, and they're going to have a great spring. You know, our cross country teams now, one of our top better half in our conference, and so all our sports now are kind of, you know, tennis, you know, is doing pretty good. So, but this is all goes back to Scott, you know, and pushing the envelope and being hands-on, you know, not just within our department, but outside our department to get our student athletes kind of what they need.
Yeah, that's great. He came in fall camp and told us the story about I got this job, and he was offered this job, and he was like, no, they haven't had a winning season in like 40 years. Then for some reason he took it. But yeah, I mean, I can't really speak for any other sports besides football. I didn't know the golf team until a month ago, but like, I think the trajectory of this place is definitely like up.
It's trending up for sure.
Yeah, which is exciting. I think it deserves to be. I think this place is very special. So
I think so too, you know, people always not make fun of me, but you know, how are you there for so long, you
Yeah.
know, and I love Silver City, I love Western New Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, people just think I'm crazy when I say that they're not from here, you know, but I really do, and I have so much passion for this university, seeing where, you know, where we've been and where we're going and now where we're at, and we're going to continue to go. To me, it just makes me so proud, man, like our football team, you know, to go to games and have the mentality, man, we can win this game, or we will win this game. We haven't had that, just that mentality as a fan or being around the football program, we haven't had that, you know, and now we're going to every game expecting to win.
yeah.
And so now the community's, you know, more excited, and I don't know how many times I'll get text messages or just people I know in town, and the excitement with football is just insane right now.
Yeah, I had my exit meeting with Coach Beal today, and he was saying I did a great job and he's proud of me. I'm like, dude, I'm proud of you, man. Like, you went from 1-10 to 6-5. Arguably could have been like, you know, a 9-2 team almost, and like you did that in a year. Like,
That's what the Division I loss.
yeah,
You know, our record,
absolutely.
one game over 500, but that's what the Division I loss. You know,
Absolutely.
we don't play that game and we play another Division II score. Maybe we win,
Yeah.
and now it's better,
Yeah,
right?
I think collectively we lost every game in like 28 points. Like, not a very big spread. Like, yeah, we lost Angelo for sure, but other ones were just right there. And I feel like he did that in 12 months. It's just like, man.
It's crazy.
And he's like, I'm proud of you, Jack. I'm like, proud of me. I kick a damn ball. Like, man, you had to deal with all this, you know, nonsense from the season, one of our players, like, and you succeeded.
There's just so many things behind the scenes, you know, that we talked about what we go through, but with coaches, you know, being a former coach and, you know, with Coach V. Hill, kind of having a chance to sit with them throughout the season when things come up. And some of the stuff coaches have to deal with behind the scenes is insane.
Yeah.
That people don't realize, to have to deal with those things that have to do nothing with football related stuff as far as X's and O's, and then to still go out and prepare for each week is huge. I would say I couldn't be a football coach. There's no way. There's so many moving parts. I want to have control over everything,
Yeah.
and you have to rely on your coaches a lot. But you know, I'm sure like all you guys did Saturday night, getting all these text messages, you know, and I had a couple buddies of mine that played football when we were in school here, and just so excited and so proud, and how many V. Hill for mayor quote, you know, texts I got. And it's just, I was like just sitting there telling my wife, like, man, this is cool, man. This
Yeah.
is super cool.
Yeah,
So
man, I'm glad I could be a part of it. My part's very small, but like, man, just being a part of the team that was 1-10 last year and now it's 6-5 is like, and for the town and for the school itself, like, man, it's so special.
you're just like a local celebrity now.
Nah, man,
You know, cowboy. Either cowboy or Jackie Moore.
grab that video. Jay, you got anything? I feel like I'm taking all the spotlight. Sorry, man.
No, you're good. So I've been told an interesting opinion you have here, Matt.
Okay.
I've been told
Makes you a
that
little nervous.
I've been told that you think LeBron is the greatest player of all time.
Oh, throat chopping right now, man. We're gonna go into this talk. I am not a LeBron fan, so everyone knows that.
He's in the front.
I think he's
wearing a LeBron jersey.
one of the greatest players. I will give you that. I just feel like LeBron ruined the game of basketball. Me being a little older, and you know, I'm a Jordan guy. I grew up on Jordan. That's my guy. But I just feel like when LeBron decided to go to the Miami Heat, that kind of ruined the game of basketball for me. That's the only way you can win a championship. My younger brother and I, we have these arguments all the time because he's Amari and Cash on the men's basketball team. We have these arguments all the time because they're LeBron guys, and they talk about KD, you know, going to the Warriors, how that didn't ruin basketball, but LeBron was the one that started it all, you know. And so to me, that I don't know, man. And I just feel like, I don't know, you're gonna get me started.
Oh, man, get started. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Dude, basketball today is so much different than it was back then. You can't compare generations, right? Like, you could take Shaq and put him in Wilt's, you know, era, and Shaq gonna dominate, right? And you put LeBron in the era of, you know, Jordan, would he dominate? Probably he still would. He's physically big enough, but the game's called differently. You know, Steph's a perfect example. I'm a Steph fan, but he wouldn't last in the 90s in the NBA. You know, coming off screens, he's going to get chucked off the line. There's just no way he would survive with his stature, but the game's called so soft nowadays that those guys are able to do that. But you're telling me LeBron can't average 40 and 20 every single game if he wanted to? Like, if he really wanted to, the guy could average 40 points a game easily.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And I just feel like, and everyone goes against the word when they were down 3-1 and blah, 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 and they want to talk one series and how he's going to break, you know, scoring record this year. Well, he's been playing in the league for 20-something years. So, I mean, he's only, you know, bound to break records, but
He hasn't been 20 yet.
It's 19.
Yeah, it's 19.
20-some years,
30 at least.
you know. And even now, you know, like with the Lakers, you know, Westbrook's getting all the flack, you know, for whether or not winning, and no one's really talking about AD, no one's really talking about LeBron. You have 3 Hall of Famers on that team, and we can't get it done. Like, come on, man. Like, you know, Jordan, again, I'm just a Jordan purist, always will be. You can never change my mind about that. greatest player of all time, hands down, no argument. I mean, that's just how I am.
How do you feel about Kobe?
I respect Kobe. I think he's probably, I mean, you could argue, 2, 3 greatest player of all time. This is the thing with Kobe and Jordan. Their mindset, is just unlike anybody else. The mindset, the competitiveness, the will to win. If they're going to win or lose a game, it's because of them.
Sure.
And so I always, with LeBron, I feel like he doesn't have that same killer instinct, that same mindset that those two guys had. And I don't know if it's just, I'm a team guy, and at that level, it's just about winning, and obviously you guys saw the Last Dance documentary with Jordan, how some of his teammates hated him. Well, they rode his coattails for a long time, won a lot of games, a lot of championships because of him. And I think Kobe's was the same way, Kobe's just reading things about him and, respecting his game. Those two guys are bar none as far as mental, competitiveness.
Yeah.
You just live and breathe it, and that's who you are. You don't know anything else besides that. So, Kobe, I wouldn't say I'm not a Kobe fan, but I'm just still a Jordan guy.
Yeah.
For sure. What are you, a Kobe guy? You grew up on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I was I was too young for the Michael Jordan era. I did see one of his last games when he was on the Wizards.
Yeah.
But I was,
That's how I was too.
6.
Yeah.
But my
Yeah.
dad was a Bulls fan. So 90s, late 90s, early 2000s was my era. Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett, Shaq and Kobe together, Vince Carter Raptors. That was my kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then as I got better at basketball and played in junior college and high school, I watched Dennis Rodman, I watched Scottie Pippen, I watched Larry Bird, just studied them and that kind of era. And I think that's my favorite era for sure.
Yeah.
So, I'm a Kobe guy because Kobe was my hero when I was a kid. But I'm not saying he's better by any means.
Yeah, but to me, it's just the mental part of Kobe is just unreal.
Oh, it's unmatched.
It's just
Yeah.
a little bit of insanity, just a little bit of just craziness in his mind, but that's what made him who he is.
And I don't think LeBron or really anyone has that now because it's not a necessity.
It's not, because you got 2 other guys in your team that could dominate.
Yeah.
And that was my point where, back then there wasn't super teams, right? And people argue, well, Jordan had Pippen, and yeah, but he didn't have Anthony Davis on his team.
Yeah.
He didn't have Dwayne Wade on his team. You got future Hall of Famers, and it's just the game was, again, those guys couldn't rely on other guys to produce if they had an off night. If they had an off night, they'd lose the game, plain and simple, where that's not how it is nowadays.
Yeah. And I think like you said, the game is so different and modernized now. You don't have to go down low and get your ass beat.
No.
Anybody can shoot a 3.
No.
Anthony Davis is 6'11" and he can shoot a 3.
Because again, man, the Last Dance brought it up, with the bad boys of the Detroit Pistons in the 90s, and that series they played with the Bulls and how physical that was. You get thrown out of games, you do that nowadays, but those are things that those guys had to endure during that time where, man, if Jordan played in today's game, he'd shoot 40 free throws a game. He would, and so that's the craziness of comparing eras. You can't really do that, but I always say, could this guy survive in this era and vice versa? And yeah, he could, as far as LeBron, but I'm not a LeBron fan. I respect him as how good of a player he is, and he'll go down as one of the greatest players ever, which I agree with. The greatest, I'd argue to the death that he's not, but just for me, this younger generation, again, how these guys think as far as game of basketball, I think LeBron kind of ruined that a little bit. It's just a whole transfer portal. We get in the transfer portal, how it translated in college basketball. It's kind of the same way. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
So it's just kind of a domino effect at the time. You don't know of I'm just looking to go win a championship. And I always said Jordan would never leave the Bulls. Kobe would never leave the Lakers, right, to go win a championship. And I would have more respect if LeBron had people come play with him in Cleveland to create a dynasty and win championships. Then, okay, great, you're coming people with you, but he's the one going to different spots. I just feel like you're not really an alpha if you're doing that.
Yeah, I remember Kobe won 2 back-to-back with just Pau Gasol and Derek Fisher.
Just think about that, right?
Yeah, and Andrew Bynum, sorry.
Jermaine.
Sorry, I forgot Andrew Bynum.
Morrow,
Yeah, oh, God.
Paul Odom.
Yeah, but it's just
Ron Artest.
it's the whole loyalty thing isn't
Metal world
really
peace.
exists.
And again, that's more of an old school
For sure.
mentality, right? The loyalty piece, which is again the transfer portal, and then these NBA players or professional athletes moving around. There's no loyalty anymore in sports. Where I grew up, and even in college, you made a commitment and you were going to stay loyal to that, and even when I was coaching, the guy I played for and coached for, Mark Coleman, that's one thing I learned from was this loyalty piece, staying loyal, and if you're going to be loyal to me, I'm going to take care of you, and
The story you told this morning was quite funny.
Let's hear it.
So we were talking. I don't know what we were talking about transfer. I don't. So him and I got in a conversation with Scott this morning, and after my sophomore year, I wanted to leave Western, and I wanted to transfer out. Coincidentally, talking about transfer portals, right? Because we were losing, and that was. I had a coach my freshman year who got let go, and then Coach Coleman came my sophomore year, and we weren't very competitive. I was still averaging, I think, 18, 19 points that year, and I just wanted to go somewhere where we had chances to win, and I wanted to be on a winning team. And so I went into the coach's office at the end of the season meetings, and we were talking about next year, and I just said, I wanted looking to leave, and he was kind of taking surprise, and so what's going on, and not that nice of a way, but we had a conversation. I just said, I want to go. I said, but I'll tell you this. I said, I want to look for other schools and other programs, but if I don't find something I like or a good fit, then I'll come back and I'll be on the team. And he said, you could leave, and I can't say some of the words he's saying now, but he's like, you're not coming back. You're not effing coming back. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, let me put it this way. He's like, if you go, you have a significant other, right, or your girlfriend or your wife or wherever, and you're going to go and tell her and say, hey, I'm going to go look for somebody else. Okay, and see if I can date somebody else or see if I can be somebody else. And if I don't find something better than you, then I'm going to come back and we'll still be together. And all I said was point taken. And so to me, that's always stuck. But that was a great analogy of you just be grateful for what you have and loyalty. And so from that point on, loyalty was a big thing for me, man.
Yeah.
But he's right.
I agree. I agree, man. So I'm gonna transfer to this semester.
Was it like your fifth school, sixth school?
Probably.
Just like, yeah, never mind.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
No, come
Jake,
on.
go ahead.
No.
Just ask the next
Well,
question.
sit down,
No,
I gotta do
Dakota,
it.
say it.
I'm not gonna say it.
Do it.
Do it.
Wait, you played baseball in college?
I did.
All right. Great. Third ball time.
Baseball?
No. Fucking badminton. Yeah, baseball.
Let's say Willie Mays.
Okay.
What's the take on steroids era?
There you go, man.
I think Barry Bonds is probably the most, talent-wise, the best.
Do you think they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
I do.
My dad was at the RA.
Really?
At Arizona State.
Barry Bonds?
Yeah.
Wow, that's super cool.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
I think Willie Mays played the game right. He is a five-tool athlete. He had the arm, he had the speed, he had the power,
Arm speed, power.
the knowledge,
Knowledge.
and the fielding
Field. Sorry, not steroids. Okay.
defense. Yeah. He did everything. He was loyal to the Giants. I like that a lot. I mean, I'm from California. As much as I didn't like the Giants, I grew to like the Giants a little bit more since they're an hour and a half away. I'm a big Yankees fan. I love Derek Jeter, but he's not the best player ever.
Wait, what era was Willie Mays?
Early 1900s.
Okay.
I was gonna say the 20s. Wasn't he in the 20s?
Yeah, probably.
Can you accurately quantify someone being better back then than, like, you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
the balls are different. The stadiums were different. Polo grounds, it was like 190 down the lines, but 500 center. It's not.
It's super fun to play with on MLB The Show.
yeah.
It's just hard, right? Like I always think baseball, different technology, right? Golf, different technology back then, or even football, right? Different technology with
Sure.
pads and helmets but I'm being biased here, but basketball is really the one sport that equipment wise, as far as a basketball, it's been the same.
Yeah.
Basketball, the goal's been the same height, the goal's been the same width.
The differences are what? 3-point line and shot clock?
3-point line and shot clock, yeah, I would
Shoes
say.
a little bit.
Yeah, and floor, but as far as just the actual things that you use, it's always stayed the same, but
Cutting out the bottom of the basket.
it's true.
Yeah, I feel like baseball is a little different because
I mean, guys throw in 100 miles per hour. Almost, I think the average pitcher is throwing like 95. Where back in the day, it's 85,
Yeah.
maybe.
I feel like baseball's so hard to do that because when basketball came out, 1898 or something, like it wasn't popularized until 50s almost.
Probably a little sooner than that, but yeah.
40s, yeah.
I'd say
So
40 because of George
was,
Mikan.
yeah, baseball was the sport for like the 10s, 20s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard to like
It
compare.
was a gentleman's sport back in the day.
It was 100 years ago.
literally.
Yeah, no, like over 100 years ago sometimes. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's hard to answer that question. But
I mean, if you're saying current, Mike Trout,
really,
hands down. He's probably one of the best hitters you'll ever see.
Is
And then Joey Ohtani even.
is he still with the Angels?
He is.
Okay.
Unfortunately for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm from Baltimore, so there's Cal Ripken statues everywhere, on every street ever.
Yeah.
How do you feel about him?
I mean, he's the Iron Man. I think they turned off the lights on purpose so he can continue his streak.
Okay.
I don't know if you know anything about that.
I do a little bit. Yeah.
The rumor has it he got in an argument with his wife, and he was drunk and he couldn't make the game.
It's a good excuse.
Sure. Yeah. Like he is a very like social presence in Baltimore. So like you'll go to restaurants and he'll be there,
That's cool.
but he like won't talk to anybody. No, like, and it's kind of rude too if you talk. But yeah, he's a great player. But
Every time you say Baltimore, I always want to say in my head, sounds like a bird. I don't know, you guys get that quote.
What is it?
A little Scarface quote?
well, I saw Scarface.
Where she said, where are you from? He's like, Baltimore. Like, oh, you sound like a bird. Where they're dancing, in the club. God, you guys are young.
Okay, you can't call me old the entire podcast and then call me. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I hear you.
I've seen Scarface. I remember her being from Baltimore,
Yeah.
but the bird thing, I don't think it's
They're
true.
dancing, go back and look at it. They're in the club when they first meet, and they're dancing in the club, and he's like, oh, sound like a bird. Baltimore.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Do it right after this podcast.
I'll do it during the podcast.
All right, Matt, we got a question for you here.
Let's do
What
it.
was it like your 1 year coaching women's basketball?
So it was actually a half a season, and I had been an assistant for the men for, I don't know, 9 years, 10 years. Our women's coach at the time left for another job right at Christmas. So I spent Christmas the whole week of figuring out how the heck to be a head coach. I actually, to be honest, like, one obviously taught me so much, right? How to be a head coach, calling timeouts, doing all that. But coaching the women, there's some differences, but not a whole lot of difference. They're basketball players, right? You treat them. That's one advice I got from the former women's coach that I took over for was you just treat them like hoopers. They're hoopers, and okay, great. And the difference between women and men, I thought, was I enjoyed probably coaching women a little bit more because they actually listen, all right?
Yeah.
Because they're smart.
They just listen, and I don't say that in a negative way, but running plays and drawing up plays, and they run it to a T the way you envision in your head, and there were times where we'd run plays and they're like, all right, what's our option now, coach? I'm like, I don't know. We've never gone that far in the play on the men's side, it's first, second option, it's going up, and so, but that team taught me a lot. We ended up going, might have been 500 for that half season in the RMAC. So, and that first game I coached, we played Colorado Mines, I think it was, and they were ranked. And we ended up losing at the buzzer. Well, we had a chance to win the game at the buzzer. And our best player at the time had a shot, just like any coach wants, and we missed it. But I actually kind of quite enjoyed that year, minus having to prep for a game in 1 week and not knowing what to do. But that was a interesting time, man, to say the least. But it was cool. Again, it taught me, it really affirmed my thinking of I wanted to be a head coach, right? You as an assistant, you think that's the next step, and you're always like, am I ready? That really kind of gave me the confidence to say, okay, I do want to be a head coach. And then do I want to coach women or do I want to try to coach men? And for me, just more comfortable coaching men, so that's all I've been doing was coaching men, and I was able to get the men's job that actually next year. So it worked out pretty good.
So then what was it like transitioning from the men's head coach to the assistant AD?
Not much different.
It was a little different your first year, wasn't it?
Well, my first year, because I came back to coach. So I stepped down from coaching. I went into administration as an assistant AD, and so we brought in a new head coach for men's basketball, and it was in November, right before conference started, because we played Permian, and it was after Thanksgiving week. Our head coach at the time had stepped down, and I was asked to come back and coach. So I did 2 roles that year, being assistant AD, and you get back from a road trip, late at night, and you're back in the office, 7:30 in the morning for your other job, and that year was so hard mentally, and I had just had my second daughter, my wife and I. We just had Allie, and one of the reasons I stepped down for coaching was more family time. Travel on the road and practices, so I was able to spend time with my daughters. And so Allie was 2 months old maybe, and luckily my wife was on board. But one of the greatest things out of that experience was it affirmed my decision to step down from coaching. When I first stepped down, I was like, did I do the right decision? I kind of miss it. I really don't know if I want to do that admin stuff, but it really affirmed like I'm done coaching, and it kind of gave me that closure that I actually needed to kind of really enjoy the job I'm doing now. But that year was hard. You're trying to change hats, and our assistant coach at the time, Tyler Tafoya, was a huge help. I mean, he ran a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people don't realize, ran a lot of our practices because I wasn't able to make, not all our practices because of my other job, and, just scouting and all the stuff that he did for that program. He didn't get enough credit for that, but it worked out pretty good. We missed the playoffs by a game that year, and we actually had a chance. We played Lubbock Christian at home the last game of the season, and had we won that game, we'd make the playoffs, or at least have a chance to make playoffs, and we didn't. But I mean, it was, for what happened during that year, it was a crazy year. We lost a couple kids right off the bat, but we had guys that stuck it through, and I'll never forget that season, that's for sure.
Yeah. You think you'll ever go back to coaching?
No, I mean,
Not even your daughters?
no. I don't think so. Let me put it that way. I guess never say never, but for me, it's just enjoying being a parent, and enjoying watching them do what they like to do, instead of getting into the politics of coaching, especially little kids. Man, I always wanted to coach high school because I thought for me I had the greatest impact on that age group, high school kids. But parents and the politics you play into that, I couldn't do that effectively without having to do some things that probably cost you to lose your job. Keeping kids accountable and pushing them hard, and to me it's just not worth it. So I'd just rather enjoy watching than coaching. Every now and then I'll watch men's basketball practice or even women's basketball practice, and I'll catch myself just in my head like, man, we gotta look at that, and the coach brain kind of comes back and God, they didn't see that, but other than that, I don't miss it. I don't miss the stress. I always joke with Zane that I get to sit at the table and watch a game. I don't have to stress. Are we gonna win? And if we don't win, what are we doing? I have to take it home. So I'm good, man. I'm good.
Do you still have the itch to play? I feel like that never goes away.
Yes, I will say yes. I joke I'm too fat and old. That's true. But I do miss it. I just miss it just for the competitiveness. I've always been a competitor. Like today at lunch, we didn't know we were going to the same spot for lunch, and I told my wife and Alma we were in the truck, and I said, "Hurry up, we got to beat Dakota." And we cut a line at the stop sign, and just to try to get over. But
I got my food first.
That's true. I still beat them though. But the competitiveness is what I miss the most about playing.
Yeah.
Like joking with you about shooting.
Sure.
To me it's just a competitive thing. Of my mind still hasn't changed. I still think I could shoot the rock, and I still think I could do that. But my body, I am doing that. But I do miss that part of it.
Yeah, no, I bet. I don't know if that's the thing I miss about basketball, but it's definitely up there.
I mean, you'll get their point, where you just miss. I mean, your career's done as far as at the college level, and you'll get to a point when you're older or older, that
Older.
That you're gonna miss, some of that stuff, and just prepping for games and going on road trips and just being around the guys,
No, absolutely. Can't wait to miss it. Can't wait to hate my life for 2 years. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
There you go. I'm just reality, man.
I know.
Just
I know.
reality.
Well, actually, I stopped playing in December. I wasn't gonna come back. I got my master's, and then in April I was like, oh shit, I miss it. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. I just hit the portal and talked to everybody, so I ended up here. But yeah, no, that's exactly what happened. I was like, dude, I can't.
It's hard.
I can't not take my last season and then wonder 10 years from now what could have happened. So
that's where I got into coaching. That's literally what started that mentality. Was I just want to be around the game of basketball.
Yeah.
I knew professionally, and for me the NBA was not an option, and there's opportunities to play in Mexico and some overseas stuff, but for me, it was just getting my career started. When I knew I wanted to be around basketball, and the way to do that was to coach. So I knew right around like my junior year that I wanted to be a coach. And so I was always film work and asking our coaches questions just to try to understand some of those things, man.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
What about you, man?
I miss hitting.
Yeah?
I do. There's nothing like, so my sophomore year I had the school record for home runs,
You got a school record too?
but it's shattered now, like shattered. But I miss it. The feeling of a home run is, you can never beat it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it feels like. Yeah.
You hit a ball square. The ball, you have a circle bat and a circle ball, and try to hit it square. Doesn't make sense, right?
No.
But when you do, it's the best feeling in the world. You don't even feel it.
Yeah.
You swing, you're like, oh my gosh, it's in the air, it's gone,
Yeah.
and your heart's pounding. It's a great feeling. Everybody's at home cheering you on.
So when it makes contact, you pretty much know it's gone.
Yeah, when
Is
you
that
have that
right?
feeling,
You're just
yeah.
like, okay, it's
It's like golf, really, right? When off a
Yeah.
drive, you hit a
Yeah.
good
I
drive.
bring that up, yeah.
You just know it just feels right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, no one gives a shit, but like punting is kind of the same way. Like, I'll pick a ball and be like, man, I did that, and then no one cares. But no, I get what you're saying, but I actually don't. So
That's it's a good point you brought up, with punting. I'm gonna be honest, no one really understands punting. You're just a punter.
yeah, man,
I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's true, right?
that's
Like,
very true.
Jack, you better punt it right or you're bad.
Yeah, no, for
Basically.
sure. And that's crazy. 'Cause, like, golf, there's factors that have to be accounted for. Baseball, there's too, but there's so much more factors for punting. Like, you have 11 guys trying to murder you. You're punting into the wind in 110 yards. You know what I mean? Like, it's very confusing at some point. But
snap's got to be good.
Snap's gotta be good, or if it's not, you'll
And
make it.
I'll argue with baseball. I mean, you have a guy throwing 100 miles per hour or
No,
a
no.
guy throwing slider at 87 miles per
Absolutely.
hour.
No, I get that. I think that scares me, is stepping to the plate and having someone hurl a ball like at your torso as hard as you can.
There's times where you think you're going to get hit and it's not even close to you. Like,
Yeah.
what am I looking at?
Yeah, I can't imagine about that. But wait, remind everyone what school you went to?
William Jessup,
Which is where?
Sacramento area.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was out there.
Yeah.
But you can still hit though. You can go to the batting cage and still hit.
So I went this summer with my nephew,
Okay.
and
That was a great uncle.
he soft tossed me, so he just like underhanded me a ball, and I hit it at the softball field over the center field fence, so like over the baseball fence
Oh.
back in the day. So I still have it in me,
Still got it, man.
yeah, but
Alright.
man, I don't miss 95 at you,
Yeah. No.
or even if it's 88 and a slider, you're like, dude, I'm not hitting that.
Yeah. Now, what did you put in the outfield?
I was catcher most of my
Oh.
career.
Okay.
I love catching.
Oh.
When I was my senior year, I was done. I already knew I wasn't going to get the starting job. We had Calicoga, who San Jose bounced back, All-American. So I sure have it. So I decided to go in the outfield, and I had a blast. In eighth grade, I was Under Armour like top 50 outfielder.
Jeez.
And I got invited to Cooperstown.
Do you remember what year you were in 8th grade, Jack?
What year I was in 8th grade?
Yeah, like what year?
Once you form a normal sentence, someone talk.
What year it was in 8th grade?
Yeah,
Yeah, 2009 I graduated. So 2010 for you?
yeah,
God, wow, I'm older than you. That's
No.
disgusting. Yeah.
yeah. 8th grade, yeah.
2013.
2013.
Well, you're older than him?
2014.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
he's older than me.
You're older than me.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm just a little behind. I took the scenic route. Anyway, keep going before Matt interrupted.
What were we talking about?
I'm talking about how great you were in 8th grade.
Oh yeah, I got invited to Cooperstown in Florida. Fortunately, didn't have the money to go, but I was ranked outfielder, 8th
That's
grade.
awesome, dude.
Um,
So wait, catching is my second fear of baseball, because you're essentially squatting.
let me tell you a story about this.
Dude,
okay?
do it.
So in high school, I wasn't really a catcher. I was middle infield, and when I got to Azusa Pacific, I got in trouble. And they were like, "You gotta go catch the fastest guy on the team." I'm like, "All right, it's no biggie." Threw 102 miles per hour. He broke my glove the first throw.
Oh.
So he broke my thumb. I caught with a broken thumb the whole year. Now he's the closer for the Royals, so he's that good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got in trouble, and I had to go catch him.
What'd you do? Why are you in trouble?
What
And
did I
don't
do?
like give us like a fake story. Like, tell us why. Tell us what a
I think I missed a meeting.
No, you didn't. You know what you
And-
did.
No, I don't, to be honest.
You know what you did.
I know my first day there, I asked coach if I can hit the field, and he said, "Get the hell out of the field."
No. Could do the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
My friend at my last college was an All-American softball catcher, and I got down in her stance one time, and it's tough to get out of it.
Just all game for hours.
But you catch it and get up and throw it like 70 yards. I don't understand that at all.
yeah, it's throwing to second base, like, it's called pop time.
Pop time?
So it's the moment the ball hits your glove to the moment the infielder touches the ball. And if you're sub 2, you're really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I was around 2.
Wow.
But
Another humble flex.
All right, you see that?
No,
You
I wasn't-
catch that?
trust-
I'm the one that caught that. Did you catch that?
so I actually have the most stolen bases against me. in Pablo and Jessup.
Another
Oh, here we go. Just keep
No,
it coming.
against
Just keep it
me.
coming.
It's like a bad
against
stat.
you,
It's a
against
bad
you.
stat.
Okay, humble yourself. There you go.
I didn't do too well at Jessup. Behind the dish. I caught decently well.
Behind the dish?
That's what you call it. Behind home plate.
That's a sweet term. I'm
A
gonna
little dish.
The dish. Behind the dish.
Then that's another thing that's applicable to punting, is me holding in that stupid position. Wow.
Wow.
There's so much in common, Dakota.
Yeah.
Except we don't.
With an 8.
Oh my god. You guys get
He's older than me though.
whatever, man. I am older. I took the scenic route, okay?
What does that mean?
My brother?
You're living life right
Yeah,
now.
dude, I'm having a great
Let's
time.
be honest.
Dude, I dropped out of college like 3 times. It didn't go until I was 22. Like I've had a wonderful time getting here. So if I would have done everything normally, I'd be done college 5 fucking years ago or something.
You'd be Dakota.
I'd be Dakota, working in volleyball games 9 hours a day
You
in
don't want to be
sweatshop.
me.
I don't want to be you.
No.
If I was you, I'd be a 10-year-old ranked baseball player.
No.
Nah, you wouldn't get that. Hey, behind the dish, you're not any good, Jack.
Sorry, Dakota. You suck.
No.
Yeah, what is your favorite movie? You seem like a Will Ferrell kind of guy.
Jackie Moon.
That's weird because I was at Coach Mac's house for dinner the other night with the DVs and the specialists, and we had to go around the room and say nice things about me, which is my least favorite thing that's ever happened.
You're handsome.
Thank you. And someone's reminded him of Will Ferrell.
I get the vibe more of the personality than the looks.
Yeah,
Correct.
no, yeah, for sure. My favorite movie, so I'm a big chick flick guy. I grew up with my mom and sister, and they just, had to say movie night every night, so I had to grow up watching chick flicks. So, my favorite movie is Crazy Stupid Love,
It's a good movie.
but number 2 is Wedding Crashers, because that's a phenomenal movie.
I love Wedding Crashers.
So
Good movie
good,
too.
so good. Why'd you ask that?
We talked something about lunch.
What's your favorite movie? Both of you.
The Goonies.
I actually never seen it.
Really?
Neither have I.
I'm a Dumb and Dumber guy.
Okay. Never seen
Love
it either.
comedies, just
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber's, probably any Will Ferrell movies,
Yeah.
just
Will Ferrell doesn't make bad movies. Actually, that's not true. I think he made one bad one. I can't remember what it is, but it wasn't my favorite. The Anchorman movies are like perfect. They're perfect.
anything he's
I
in.
love Step Brothers.
So okay, I don't
No
know.
power tools.
No particles,
All right, relax. I didn't see Step Brothers until 2 years ago. Because I missed like the teenage years. It was like the funniest thing ever. So I watched it at the age of 25, and I was like, this isn't fun anymore. You know what I mean? So I missed it.
I hate to see it.
Yeah, whatever.
What about non-comedy?
Non-comedy.
Yeah, non-chick flick, non-comedy.
The Martian.
Very fast answer.
Or The Accountant.
Oh, that's a good movie. Oh, probably non-comedy might be The Town.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That's a
Seen-
badass movie.
Yeah.
It's with Ben Affleck. It's
That's the one that robbed the bank and
Yeah, they're
everything.
from Boston.
Yeah,
Everyone
Yeah,
talks
I've seen
like
that.
this.
Oh wait, I've seen that.
Everyone plays hockey.
that's a good one.
Yeah, I remember that.
No, it's a good movie. It's like an incredibly like oh wow, my life's pretty good.
I like Braveheart. Mine's Braveheart,
Okay.
hands down.
All right.
It's good.
Huge Braveheart guy.
Matt
Okay.
doesn't watch superhero movies.
I don't watch
So-
superhero movies.
I don't blame you. They're all the same.
Just,
I like Captain America. That's my
Of
favorite.
course.
endings are predictable.
It's the same movie every time.
Just never
I
got
live in
into
Infinity
it.
War.
All right. Let's go.
Shut your mouth.
Let's go music. Let's go music. You can listen to one artist, band, group for the rest of your life. Who is it?
Tim
One-
McGraw.
Tim McGraw?
Country guy.
I'd have to
Or
agree.
George Strait.
What?
I would agree. A lot of people don't know this about me. Growing up, big R&B hip hop guy until recently, and I think maybe the last couple of years, big country guy now. Big country guy.
So are you going country the rest of your life? If
I-
you could pick one?
yeah.
And if so, who? I'm so disappointed.
Country rapper, I go Tim McGraw.
What the hell? This is a Jake?
Not country.
Okay.
If we're go hip hop,
I sure.
I was a big Wu-Tang guy back in the
There
day.
you go.
Big Wu-Tang guy. That was my group. So I don't know. It's a tough one for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Tough
I was a
one.
big Black Eyed Peas guy.
Of course you were. Look at you. Of
You're,
course
you're like a Red Hot Chili Pepper kind of guy.
Oh, that's a good band.
Yeah. Not for the rest of my life. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go John Mayer. I grew up listening to him. But if I'm going hip hop, which is what I really grew up listening to, probably Jay-Z or Big.
I'd probably go Jay-Z.
Yeah. Just 'cause
Are you a Big or Tupac?
I'm both, but if I had to pick one, I'm Biggie.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. I mean, they're both.
Drake, that's all I really knew.
Yeah.
I swear.
Drake's the only rapper you really know?
I know, I Lil Wayne, like, I love Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
But Drake, I like a lot of his songs.
Wait, can we get a quick top 5 rappers of all time from you real quick, man?
Ooh, that's good.
I don't respect Dakota's top 5, but I respect you.
Might be Lil Wayne. No,
In no particular order, Eminem, Ice Cube,
Okay.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I have to throw Tupac and Big in there for sure, man. I'm Method Man kind of guy too,
Really?
out of Wu-Tang. God, that's hard for me, man.
So mine in order is Jay-Z, Biggie, Eminem, Tupac, Nas.
Oh, Nas is good.
Not more of old school Nas before he.
No, like Illmatic.
Yeah,
Nas.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
Then you have dudes like Rakim who kind of like solidified the entire sound for a decade. So I don't know. It's interesting. That's like asking someone starting 5 in basketball all the time, and you can't say Michael Jordan,
Larry
Kobe, or Larry Bird, Magic, or LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, my brother's a club DJ, so he DJs in clubs, and he's been doing that since, I don't know, he was 15. He's older than me, but so him and music, my dad's a big music guy, and my dad's more of a Motown guy, but growing up in music, and my brother started off in hip hop as a DJ, and it, like you're saying, it's hard to just pick 5 for me.
Yeah.
Just, man, especially old school hip hop,
Yeah.
it's bar none.
Yeah.
Eminem?
I mean, I put him out there because there's nothing that's like Eminem or that's going to be like Eminem, in my
Correct.
opinion.
100%.
Yeah. And I think number 6 for me is Lil Wayne because
I thought his music was literally art. Like,
yeah, I mean, he's just so unique. And the fact that he could play like almost heavy metal rock and rap over it and it doesn't sound horrible is just beyond me,
right.
Yeah. Jake, do you have a top 5?
You want to hear my top 5?
Oh boy.
I actually do.
I do.
I feel like you have a very interesting top 5.
Right, because I'm more new school than old
Yeah, I
school.
know, because you're 12.
Exactly.
Rusty.
Let's see. I'm not gonna give them an order,
All right, it's fine.
but I'll give you our top 5. I probably have to go with. This is one that's out there.
Just say them, Jake.
All right.
You're in a safe place.
Kanye West,
Okay.
Jay-Z,
Yeah.
Drake. Yeah. Kendrick Lamar
Okay.
and J. Cole.
I knew you were going to say J. Cole. I knew you were going to finish J. Cole. That's not a bad list.
That's a new list.
That's like the, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you, 23, 24? How old are you?
23.
Makes sense.
I was thinking about throwing Eazy in there because I listen to him a lot. But
Yeah.
E40.
It's hard to not put like Andre 3000 in there, and even Missy Elliott for me.
Like
Oh, Missy Elliott.
Outcast or just Andre?
I think you can do both, honestly.
I don't know.
Because like maybe I don't know.
I didn't listen to enough rap. I grew up country.
Yeah.
And Drake. Katy Perry. Taylor Swift.
All right.
I grew up on rap and Marshmello.
And Marshmallow.
Marshmallow.
Yeah.
Marshmello, Dylan Francis.
That's all right.
What's your favorite TV show?
TV show.
You're probably a New Girl guy.
I actually like New Girl. a lot.
I actually watched New Girl
It's good.
maybe last year or during COVID. My wife and I, she tried to find some on Netflix, and we just watched it from episode 1 till
Pretty funny.
the very end. I'd never heard of the show, I want to be honest.
Yeah.
And
It's not bad.
it's pretty funny.
There's some really well written parts and some really not well written parts. But if I had to pick, I think I'm a tie for 3. I'm sorry. New Girl, Modern Family. You ever seen Modern Family?
Yeah.
That's incredibly written. And then Silicon Valley.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh God, you
How I
guys.
Met Your Mother's number 1. for me.
That's number 4 for me.
Are you Seinfeld or Friends?
Friends.
Seinfeld.
Never seen Seinfeld, didn't like Friends.
Because you're 12.
I'd say Seinfeld. I would say
Really?
It's funny. I've been watching that at night.
Yeah.
I like The Ranch a lot too. I think
Ranch.
in the Hot 70 show, love it. It's probably number 2.
That summer show, it's too much laughter for me. Like
They do a lot,
It's
yeah.
a lot. It's a lot.
They're making that 90s show right now.
They shouldn't.
Same cast.
No.
Oh my god.
Why, you don't like Mila Kunis or Ashton Kutcher?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think they would work as
They're very
90s.
animated. I feel like more than they have to be.
I think The Office is number 3. I'm talking sitcoms, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Office is.
Office is a good
Have
one.
you ever watched the Office bloopers?
Yes.
Oh
It's so funny.
God, dude. Oh my. Well, you realize that watch the bloopers that more than half the show is improvised, which is crazy.
Crazy.
That's how the Anchorman movies are.
Improvised.
All of it.
I didn't know
The
that.
director of Anchorman said he has enough cut film to make 2 more movies just off of like either bad jokes or jokes that didn't land. It's all they give. So from my understanding, they gave like the main 4 guys like categories to talk about, and they would just kind of riff off of it back and forth, and a lot of it stuck, which is so crazy to think about.
That movie's hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's good. So now you gotta go. I'm checking your phone a lot.
I'm always working. Remember I just told you I'm always working.
Don't my advice?
That's why I don't have time to play.
Don't. You can't take 20 minutes to basketball with me. That's 12. That's 12
When do you leave?
Friday,
What time?
5 p.m.
All right, we could set our game. What we got?
Let's go tomorrow morning.
Well, depends on.
Yeah, what we got? We could probably do it.
There's basketball tomorrow at like 6.
Oh, is the game tomorrow? Sweet.
You wanna
Women's
work?
game.
No.
You want to be the photographer?
Now you want to get the photographer job? No.
You got. It's a brand new lens.
You're Brandon Lens.
Okay.
No, I like to watch it tomorrow. And not.
It's the women's game, and then Saturday's the men's game.
God, I won't see the men's play one time while I'm here.
Oh, that's right.
That's awesome. I'll come
Stay
back.
till Saturday.
No.
Don't blame you.
I haven't missed Silver though, man. Silver City's a cool place. I love this place.
Don Juan's.
Oh God.
Don Juan's your burrito place?
No, he likes Las Victors.
No, I think Don Juan's is a little better.
Beef
Los
rib.
Victor's is like 7 meals
Yeah.
in one burrito.
Don Juan's got the egg chorizo and red chili burrito in the morning.
Yeah, that's a game changer. I get the carne asada with pico and
Like a pico.
guacamole, green chili. At least you want to call her dad and forgive him. You know what I mean?
Just trying to hold that in.
Yeah, that's a good. And I had what's the one right on college, next to Q's, across from Q's.
La Casino.
I had that the other day, and they gave me some really spicy stuff, and I'm like super white.
Yeah.
We
Actually,
don't do spicy food in Baltimore. We do like fried chicken and pizza, so I'm not used to this. My
Seafood.
mouth burnt.
You got the hot red
26.
chili?
I don't know what it was.
That
But
is
I was
hot
like,
there.
I was like seeing the Lord, like I was sweating. Yeah, no, it was tough. And then the one next to McDonald's, the cash only place.
Oh, that's Don Fidencio's.
Yeah, that's a solid one.
never even heard
I
of
haven't
it.
had there. I haven't been there in a long time.
That's a solid one.
You get the California burrito.
I don't know what I got there.
That's
I
French,
don't know.
French fries in it.
No,
I
no, I didn't get that.
love French fries in my burrito.
That's a California burrito.
Love it. Love it.
We had a place like that at Penn State that put French fries in your burrito.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, did you comb your hair for me today? Is it because I was coming around the podcast?
No, it just settled that way.
That can't be right. Did it really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Comb
It
his hair
just settled
today.
that way.
Holy shit, that's incredible.
I was gonna say I appreciate it, you know, but
No matter what type of vehicle you're looking for, Hatch Toyota State Line, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Silver City has the vehicle that will fit you.
The Mustangs will be back in action this week. The cross-country team will compete in the NCAA Division II South Central Regional, both men's and women's. It'll be their last of the season before they get ready for track season. The men's basketball team will play 2 games against Sagu on Tuesday, November 15th at 6 p.m. and Wednesday, November 16th at 2 p.m. Mountain Time. They will also face Park University Gilbert on Saturday, November 19th at Drags Court at 2 p.m. The women's basketball game has been moved from this Wednesday, November 16th to next Monday, November 21st against SAGU. It'll still be home at Drags Court. This has been the 11th edition of Rawhide's Mob, presented by Hatch State Line Toyota and Hatch Ford of Silver City. For Matt Enriquez, Dakota Spillers, and Jack Rasmussen, I'm Jake Wetzel. Remember, Mustang fans, you can stay up to date with us by following us on social media, WNMUmustangs.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, or TikTok at WNMU Athletics. Remember, hashtag Rare Breed.
Thank you.